Yo, so there has been a lot of Genshin Impact voice actors drama recently in the past couple of days. A lot has unfolded and there's a lot of different parts of this story. In this video, I'll just be explaining it in a simple chronological order and I'll stay as non-biased as possible and hopefully help you understand what's going on in the voice actor community, especially in Genshin Impact. This is kind of different from the videos I usually do, but I was pretty interested in this drama for the past couple of days and I read a lot about it. So I was like, all right, you know what? I have a Genshin channel. Let me just try to explain this and see how it goes. Alright, so the beginning of all of this starts by Jacob Takanashi, who's a Japanese voice actor. He announced that he's going to be the new Kinich voice actor in Genshin Impact. He announced it by this post on Twitter or X. He just said that he's honored to join the English cast of Genshin Impact and stuff like that. Everything is good. He's just happy to join. There's no problems here. The only real small problem in what he says here is this part. He said, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to carry the flame from the previous flame bearer, Jean, who did an incredible job. So he made it feel like, everything was okay, everything was happy, and he just, the previous voice actor just stopped and he just continued after him, and that was all. And he's cool with everyone. Well, just a bit after, clearly it wasn't. Jean himself, the previous Kinich voice actor, posted an X post also, and he basically explained that he just didn't know anything about this change. He was on strike before, so he refused to do voice lines for Kinich in the previous couple of versions and Genshin Impact, and that he didn't know anything about this, and actually he was pretty disappointed that they just replaced him without him knowing. And he said that even if Hoyo invites him back, if everything is sorted out, he's just gonna come back. Now, a little bit of context about why he even stopped voice acting. It's a voice actor strike going on. There's a voice actors union called SAG-AFTRA. It's kind of big, and a couple of months ago they decided to just stop working with companies or projects that don't really sign their deals about protection. At least that's what they're saying. The main point here is that they're trying to protect their voice actors from AI replacement. There's a lot of stuff with AI right now where they can mimic voice actors or just use voices and stuff like that. They're trying to get a lot of companies to just sign in deals where they guarantee that they'll just never use AI and replace their voice actors, basically. At least this is what they're saying the main point of the deal is. We're gonna talk about this more in a little bit. But yeah, they just make deals with different projects and companies. If the company signs in, the members of this union will just continue working as usual, everything is good. If not, like Genshin Impact, Hoyo refused to sign this deal, so they went in on strike. That was a couple of months ago, and it's still going on to this day. So they just stopped voice acting for their characters. We've seen a couple of versions before that there have been a lot of story slots with no voice acting because of the strike and stuff like that. Previous Kinich voice actor was part of this union, and he was on strike. Eventually, they replaced him and put in this new guy. From here, the drama isn't really that bad or that big. So where the drama started is other Genshin voice actors, which are mainly part of this union, started attacking the new voice actor. Some of them were kind of slight attacks, if you can call it that. For example, Keqing's voice actress. They said this is actually kind of diabolical. If you need money, at least take the role uncredited. This has come off as an easy grab for clout. It's not a good look. Obviously, she's just attacking straight up the new voice actor and saying that he shouldn't have took this job because obviously he's messing with their strike. The strike is meant to put pressure on Hoyo for them to provide, better working conditions, pay and stuff like that, AI protections for the voice actors. And when a voice actor just comes in like that and basically bails them out, he is stabbing his fellow voice actors in the back. At least this is what they're portraying. We've seen many more voice actors attack him, basically. The attacks get a little bit crazier and you can borderline call it bullying side, to be honest. I mean, you can see and decide here for yourself. I'm trying to stay unbiased. I'm not going to tell you what to think, but in my personal opinion, I do think they definitely crossed the line. It's kind of unprofessional and just also untasteful to just attack a person just taking a job like this. But especially for the next attacks I'm going to show you, it's just beyond normal criticism. Especially, this is Candace's voice actress. She went on a whole what I would call a rampage. This got to be the most classless thing I've seen. Have fun with Genshin, blah blah blah. She's bashing the whole Genshin community. She's bashing the game on how they record in Japan for English dubs, which is kind of weird. It's pretty normal. The US is not the only country that can just take the voice acting. just like here, because let's be frank, who's gonna beat my ass over a video game that's underpaid this performance and stuff like that, which is fair. If you're going after Hoyo, fair enough. I don't care. But there's a lot of bashing for the new actor, which it's a bad timing. I don't like that. There's also Paimon's voice actor, which is probably the craziest thing I've seen in a while, genuinely. Again, I'll just show you things and you can decide for yourself, but personally I think it's genuinely crazy. On when she went about this, she commented on his post, the new voice actor, and she said this was not a passing of the torch, implying that he said, you know, he has the flame now from the previous flame bearer. And this was fine because, as I said before, he made it look like everything was okay, blah blah blah, but it wasn't. Obviously the previous voice actor just didn't give up the torch. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. She also went on and called the new voice actor a scub, which is pretty disrespectful, and also attacks him like many other Genshin voice actors. The crazy thing about all of this is that a lot of these voice actors still work actively for Hoyo and do their voice acting roles right now. They're not on strike, but they're still bashing this guy for taking this role. The thing is, many of them just didn't talk about that and they bashed him, which is crazy to me. But Paimon's voice actor just went on to like sort of comment or defend herself about that. And her whole thing is that, well, you're right. I'm also a scub and I also have no right to work this role, but I'm disabled and I need to work it. I need money, blah, blah, blah. And that's why I'm working it. But he's still a piece of shit for taking this job, which is like, sure, everyone has their own life stuff going on. You're not forced to leave your job. I don't know what's going on in her life. You probably don't too. I don't know how hard it is for her to just completely leave the job and stuff like that. But the thing is, if you're in that position, you gotta know what cards you hold in your hands, if that makes sense. Like, you're not in a good position here. You're Paimon. You're still working every single patch. But for you to be in that position and then go on and actively attack a person who's taken a job, basically same as you, is kind of crazy to me, genuinely. Because literally the same logic could apply. What if he needs a job? What if he just wants a paycheck? What if he, I don't know. You can't just do something and then be like, well, I know I'm wrong, but I'm also attacking you for doing the same thing. Just stay quiet. It's fine. You took the job. You kept your job. You're still voice acting, getting paid. That is fine. But for you to be bashing people for doing the exact same thing is crazy to me. Like, I understand life is tough. You got to get your money, but to actively attack people when you're at the same hill is crazy. At least that's my opinion. You can see that's her sort of defense on that. She's basically just saying, well, I'm sick, I'm disabled, I need the money, I'll be homeless if I don't get it, so I need to work this job, and I had this role for a while, he didn't, I'm just keeping my job, but he's taking someone else's job, which is, I guess, is a point, but I think it's pretty useless. At the end of the day, you're still working a job, you can quit if you want, but you still didn't, fair enough, but you cannot attack people for taking the same job as you. And yeah, now this is my personal opinion about this whole thing, but believe it or not, she does make a good point. She's saying basically that she's keeping her own job because of her circumstances, which I honestly genuinely do respect. Like, that's fine. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're forced to go on strike, blah blah blah, because even though it's good for the community, in her words, and by not doing so you're stabbing your fellow voice actors, I genuinely do respect that. Like, everyone does have stuff going on in their lives where they cannot really control, but in this, like, obviously you need to also be understanding of people in the same circumstance. With this new guy, the new voice actor, Jacob Takanashi, first of all, he's in Japan. He's in a different country, different work laws, different circumstances, different currency, different life, different communities, literally everything. This matters, guys, by the way. Like, when you're in a completely different reality than, you know, the other people in the US who are fighting for these rights in the US, by the way, this just does not affect him. This guy just came in, he had the opportunity to take a job that he always wanted, same as everyone, same as all of the voice actors, and he just took it. You can't just force him to comply with your strike laws because you also don't know what's going on in his life. First of all, he's not affected by all of this. He's in Japan. He doesn't know. He claimed he doesn't even know about the strike and all this drama, which personally I doubt, but it doesn't matter still. Like, everything in this could just be resolved and it's not gonna affect his life at all. And then us having literal current voice actors in the union still working right now because they need the money while they're directly affected by all of this, blaming him for taking this job even though he's pretty far away from all of that, is crazy to me. Now, I understand basically in the bigger picture, this is them like fighting for him, blah blah blah. They're fighting for him to be able to work in the future, but on an individual level, you cannot really think like this. At the end of the day, he's an individual, same as everyone, same as Paimon's voice actor, same as anyone's voice actor, same as anyone anyone in the world. He does have his own circumstances. So him taking this job, you can look at him in like a distasteful look, and that's fine in my personal opinion. I probably would have done the same before without me knowing the details of this drama. But for you to like go out of your way to actively bash him for taking this role is just wrong. And this is what the Genshin community shares, by the way. A lot of people have been defending him. A lot of other voice actors have been defending him. You can see the replies on a lot of expos of people like bashing him. There's a lot of people defending him, saying like it's his right to take the job. It's not their position to deny him this opportunity and stuff like that, which is good. Some people do not think like this. Obviously, they do hate him. It's always split. But in my personal opinion, from what I've been seeing, I think most of the Genshin community have been supporting him. Now, moving on to a very important part of this drama, which is sort of another side. There have been a lot of people who are just saying this is just Hoyo's fault. They could just sign the deal and everything will be fixed and over. Now, one of the people I've seen saying that is Braxophone. He's just saying this is what pisses me off. Hoyoverse can just fix it. They have the power. They just won't. Maybe because they want to use like other, AI voices in the future, or maybe it's other stuff. He's saying either way, it's their fault. Now, I believe he says this in a good intention because he's saying like the voice actor is not wrong for taking the job. Other voice actors are not wrong for being afraid that they might lose their jobs in the future. So Hoyo is the wrong one for this, for not signing the deal. The thing is, I would support this, but there have been a lot of info coming out. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, all of this info that have been coming out about the deal is not really certified info. I've looked around a lot. Nothing really official came out from any like official sources, but also the official actors didn't really directly deny any of this. So it's up to you to believe. But I'm telling you right now, this whole part of the video is not really something abstract like we've seen. There's no real official info on this, but the main problem is that there have been rumors that the deal that SAG-AFTRA is trying to get with Hoyoverse does include more than just the AI protection stuff. And the AI protection is just more of like an image that you want to portray to the public to justify the strike. But there's more stuff to it. The main one is that they don't want to allow other voice actors outside of the union to work with Hoyoverse. That means for you to be a voice actor in Genshin Impact, you need to first sign with SAG-AFTRA and then you can work with Hoyoverse. So that means Genshin Impact will be a union project. That means you need to be part of the union for you to be able to participate in any of this. If you're an independent voice actor, your opportunities will be very limited if you're not part of the union. We've seen people trying to defend that. The main one I've seen, which I likes the thread and I think it's a fair thread defending that, is going to be Laura Stahl, which is Barbara and Shinyan's voice actor in Genshin Impact. What she's saying basically is that, the union does have opportunities for people outside of the union to work. They can make deals with them for them to be able to work even if they're not part of the union. And that the main threat right now is just going to be AI. So a union needs to be established for them to fight it. And then after that, they can look to reform the union in a better way. So basically she's saying, give us power in the union for us to fight AI and then we'll see. Which doesn't really make much sense to me. I like the part that, independent voice actors can work even if they're not part of the union, but obviously they need to go through so many hoops for them to do that. It just gives the union much more control and they can just pretty much blacklist anyone from working for any reason. A lot of people are calling it a monopoly. I don't think the union is for monetary intensive, so it's not technically a monopoly. They're not really a corporation, but then you still need to be on good terms with like the union for you to be able to work a voice acting job on the projects they own, which is basically just going to be the main big projects. Obviously, this might be beneficial for a lot of voice actors and maybe the voice actors in general, but it also gives power to a union that, especially from what we've seen right now, seems to be a little bit cliquey in a way. The whole bullying stuff for the new voice actors, stuff like that, which left a bad taste in people's mouths. Like, who knows, maybe in the future you don't agree with whatever they want to do and they just blacklist you from getting a job. So now people are saying the union is not really only for protecting voice actors from AI, but it also has other incentives. So it's losing support and popularity overall. Personally, honestly, this is a great area. I don't know much about these, especially because we don't really know any official info about the deals, but I'm pretty sure there's more than, just AI protection to the deal. So it's kind of a great area. I don't know if this is a good or bad thing for voice actors in general, but right now the general incentive is that the union is not really getting as much public support as it did a couple of months ago. But yeah, this is basically it. Tell me you guys' opinions in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.